Hello, hello. My name is FreediiFree, and I'm
Oh my
joined
god,
here
we're
with my
starting.
freaking bestest buddy person here for the podcast.
Oh, me. It Randina.
Hi, Randina. Yes,
Hello.
this is. I guess at this point we've officially called it podcast pending. There is a
Yeah.
podcast pending that exists, but it only has like 4 episodes, and it was made years ago.
Like 2013 or something, right?
So let's just assume we are appropriating the name for ourselves until they tell us otherwise, and we will change the name if so inclined. Great.
And that'll happen, and then we'll be like podcast without permit.
I'm okay with that, actually. We'll get there when we get there, but podcast pending. Welcome to the show. Let's see if I've added music to it. I shouldn't even say that because, hell no, I should say that because now I'm forced to add music because I've said it in the podcast. Okay, so here's something. You ever have, like, you don't want to tell people that you're in something or you're doing something or that you're going to make something because you're worried that you won't actually make it? But the point of you telling people that you're going to do it makes it happen, but you know it's going to take a lot of work. Do you know what I'm, like, trying to say?
Yes.
Kinda?
Yes, I do. Well, it's kind of when I tell people that, like, I'm writing a book, I always feel a little bit nervous about that, because it's like, well, what if I get tired of this idea and I don't want to write this book anymore? Like, the obligation to write it is there, but, like, the follow-through to do it, the pressure just mounts when you tell people. Because they're, like, going to hold you to it.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Did you actually just say that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Horrible.
It's not a bad thing. I don't even know what it comes from. I think I just made it up. Let's assume that I made it up.
No. You did not make that up. Okay.
Orange juice is good.
Orange juice. Delicious.
But I wish my roommate liked pulp. Because I like orange juice with pulp.
I mean, pulpy orange juice, it's like an acquired taste, I find. Oh my god, I just said, Do you ever just, like, you're in the headspace of, like, dirty jokes, and, like, all you think about is dirty jokes, but you have to remember, like, to contextualize the situation you're in? So I was, like, about to just throw out this dirty joke, and I was like, Randy, no.
See, usually that's a problem for guys. I mean, if I'm gonna be slightly sexist here.
Here's the thing. In popular culture, people are like, women are such, like, pure creatures, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's totally not the case at all.
You totally... keep going.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, it's just kind of this thing that, like, women are constantly thinking about sex, but, like, not always. Just like how men are, like, men think about sex, but it's not, like, always on the mind. But, like, women think about sex just as much as men think about sex. So, like, often, but not always.
Aha!
Yes.
Great.
So
I just remembered something that I wanted to share from Twitter. I'm trying to think of... See, it's really hard when you're like, alright, you want to still keep the podcast going, but you're also trying to search for this certain thing that you're trying to remember, but you can't quite remember what it was.
Circumlocución, Erik. It's a thing I learned in Spanish class. You just keep talking around the word until you remember it.
Well, it's like, I know exactly what it was, and I could probably tell you the gist of what was said in the tweet, but I want to find the exact tweet, because it was just...
Is it the one that you reblogged, or reblogged?
Nah.
Is it the one that you retweeted from Tom Harlock?
Or
not Tom Harlock, Thomas Sanders.
I don't remember retweeting someone from him, actually.
Because weren't you the one who retweeted the thing where it was like, I had a dream that I talked to my friend about...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Thomas
Sanders?
Tom Mistletoe?
No.
Tom Mistletoe Sanders. Wow,
Yeah.
that took a long time for me to figure out. Why is that his... I can't...
Because it's Christmas.
I can't Christmasize my name. Like, Larissa... She Christmasized her name into Merry Christmas, and it's
oh my god,
it's brilliant. It's so good. I'm like,
Erik, we could just change our last name into Frosthead, like frost, like it's frost outside. Frosthead,
not over here.
I mean, it is here, and you're gonna be here in not that long.
Yeah, this
and
is
you're
true.
gonna die.
You should. Well, I just. Well, that was my Instagram post. That's what my Instagram post was about.
About that you're gonna be in South Dakota.
Yeah, that I'm gonna be. Well, my Instagram
/
post.
Minnesota.
Well, yeah, but it was a picture of the ocean side in Malibu, and it was like, oh, what a pretty view. And it was like we were at a house that was on top of a cliff, and you could see out like over the ocean, and it was just. It was freaking beautiful. But the photo itself was, or the message around the photo was essentially, oh yeah, I'll be leaving the warmth, the colder summer but still basically summer weather, and switching it out for. I'm not even gonna say what it was. You'll just have to see the Instagram post itself, because.
Eric, you need to pimp out your Instagram username.
Erik FreediiFree, spelt the same, but with an Erik in the front. But Erik has a K in it, but no C, because that's the right way to do it.
My Instagram, by the way, is refgirl21, so if you want to see a lot of coffee house pictures and pictures of my bullet journal and pictures of me studying, and the occasional picture with friends, that's what you're going to get from my feed. Also books. I tend to post a lot of book pictures.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I told you about this. And sorry if I'm not going into the topics that we talked about, but this is just like exciting things.
Sidebar Nation.
And, I know, but it's we're keeping it chill and, light at the start. Oh god, that's a terrifying Twitter picture.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I wish I wouldn't have even said anything. It's from Justin Roiland's Twitter, but...
Oh. Is he working on Rick and Morty right now, or is he still on break because, it ruined his mental state?
I have no idea.
Because he was like, I need to not work on the show for a while because I'm becoming a really bad person.
Alright, I'm just going to retweet this and you'll see it on my Twitter. So if you follow my Twitter at Erik FreediiFree, you can also see this live on the pod. Okay.
Wait. Eric.
What's that?
Do you have notifications for when I tweet?
Yes, I think I do.
Okay, I do for you, but I was like... Is this some, shady business where I have notifications for your tweets, but you don't have notifications for my tweets? Fight me.
No, I totally, definitely watch your stuff,
Oh, Eric, that is horrifying.
I definitely... Wait, what? Now I'm lost.
I'm looking at the photo.
Oh, yeah, it's the...
That is so scary. It's
so
like the
scary.
Twilight baby.
Oh my god.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you ever see the Twilight baby? From the movie, the Twilight series.
No.
Okay, funny story about this. Okay, here's the thing. I've never read Twilight. I've never watched Twilight. I have no intention of doing either. I'm a really bookish person, and a lot of people in the book community are like, wee, blah, 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 Twilight. And I'm like, it just sounds bad, and I'm not interested. But, I was looking at the behind the scenes. Oh my god, fight me. Anyway, I was looking at the behind the scenes because there was this really creepy reaction picture I saw, and someone was like, oh my god, it's from Twilight. And I was like, what? And so they have this thing in Twilight in the last book or something where the werewolf boy imprints on the main girl, Bella's baby or whatever, and falls in love with Bella's baby instantly. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's really fucking weird. And,
fun series.
I have no idea. Anyway, but, so for the baby portion of the movie, they're like, we don't want to have a real baby. Let's just have a puppet baby. And it's the most horrifying thing ever. Anybody who's like, this baby is adorable is an idiot because it's scary AF. I'm gonna find a picture and send it to you.
Oh, great. Put it on Twitter or something. Just this is relating to my podcast. You should definitely.
It's it's this
yeah,
weird.
Listen to the podcast to see what we're talking about. Okay. By the way, I can't find my Twitter post, so I'm just gonna try to explain. Oh my God, Boogie.
What?
You know Boogie 2988, right?
Yeah.
The dude who just got surgery to, I think it's gastric
bypass surgery. Yeah.
There's a post here of him in one of his shirts from last year. Mm-hmm. The dude is half his original size. I swear. It's unbelievable. Wow. as long as he's healthy, as long as he's still healthy, but dang.
It's like
he's losing so much weight, and oh my god, I hope he's feeling really happy. Like, I don't want to be like, you know, I don't even know how to explain this. I'm trying to avoid saying, I bet he's really happy, or wow, he looks really good, because there are some individuals who would rather see themselves as fat, or rather see themselves, like, there's people that like themselves like that, I think. I think that's a thing. I thought I saw something about that a while back. But the fact that he just looks physically healthier, and I feel like he's gaining years onto his life, essentially, is what it feels like. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
I get you.
I'm making a way bigger deal out of this single little thing than I need to be, but it's, oh my god. I know that this is what he wants, and that's why he got the surgery, but I'm so happy that it's working out so well. There's been no, like, hardly any complications, if any. I don't remember if he said that there were or not, but I feel like he did at some point. But just, oh, that's so cool. So shout out to Boogie for doing freaking amazing and honestly being an inspiration to people, I suppose.
No, I like that. You know, he came to the conclusion that he wasn't happy with his body, and like he didn't feel healthy, and like didn't he have like a heart attack or like a stroke or some sort of scare around that region?
I don't know, but I feel like it was either him or someone nearby him or close to him that had a situation like that. That was one of those, it is time. And it's essentially, he wants to live longer. He wants to survive and do more on this earth while he has the chance. Getting this surgery and having it done will add years to his life and make daily activities just immensely easier for him. So
yes,
it's an investment.
Did you see my Twitter notification?
I might have, but I don't remember if I did. Oh wait,
I just tweeted.
Just tweeted?
Yes.
All right. I couldn't.
I swear to God, if you don't have your notifications, I'm going to bitch slap you.
I have a notification thing here.
Yay!
Wait, wrong one. It was the what is your... Oh, somebody liked my retweet. I need to start retweeting.
Oh my god.
It's an amazing retweet. It's the one of the BB-8. That's his name, right?
Oh my god, yes!
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
My dream job.
I love him so much.
God, what a cool thing. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to my home and see if I can find you. Oh, God! Oh, that's... God, that's terrifying. I can't. I can't even. I can't. Like, seriously, check out my Twitter, look up the date 12/17/2017, and see RefGirl21's retweets. Or wait, I'm sorry, Ref21 Girl's tweet, and my retweet from Justin Roiland. I thought mine was bad. Wow! That's goddamn disturbing. Gee, Jiminy Christmas. Okay.
Oh my god, the Twilight baby.
So
I think they cut it from the movie, but I still think it's hilarious that they're
kidding.
Like, we want to have a puppet / CGI baby instead of a real one.
That's straight up. I'm retweeting this on my Twitter too, but that's... Wait, why did I retweet it? I should have quoted.
You can unretweet
my
it.
Friends.
You can unretweet it.
Screw it. I'm just retweeting it. Wait, is it still retweeted? The little marker went away. Oh, whatever.
You probably you can quote it. It's fine. I won't have hard feelings.
All right, I'm retweeting. There we go. But essentially, the thing that I wanted to retweet before... Oh, God, I can't even look at it. This is... But the thing that I found that I didn't retweet, I just happened to read it, was a conversation between two people. And it essentially went as these two guys in this workplace. And one of these guys, this has to do with, one of this guy, I'm just explaining it, but one of these, give me a second. One of these guys says to the other, man, with all of this sexual harassment stuff going around in America and all these issues, can't a guy just say a girl looks pretty and not have this big issue about it? And the guy says, the other guy says to him, how do we explain this? I'm trying to make it sound the way it was supposed to. That sucks that I can't find the tweet. says to him, well, can I just tell you that you look pretty too? And he says, no, that's creepy. Why is this creepy? I just want to tell you that you look really nice. Because it's unwarranted. Why would you say that? I wonder if that's how they feel. One of those sort of things.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, it's not about being gay is the issue there. Like, that's one
no
of those, like,
homo or
that was
anything.
one of those things that just, like, I saw a comment about that. But I'm like, no, that's not about that. It's about, here is this conversation between two people, and one of them is thinking, wow, why can't I just say that a girl looks hot? And like, wow, you know, that sort of thing.
Ew.
And the other guy replying, well, can I do the same thing to you? And it's, no, that's weird. Why would you do that? There should not be a distinction between gender in the workplace in that kind of a setup, is the whole thing. And it's one of those, even if I was gay, I would not say that to another guy in my workplace, at the very least, without knowing him well enough where it's a running joke between the two of us.
Or, like, there's some sort of, like, consent to doing so.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for my friends and us, we tend to, like, give each other, like, really nice compliments, like, oh, your ass looks so nice in that dress, or, like, you know, that kind of stuff. But, like, I would never do that unsolicited to anyone on the street or anything like that. That's just rude and invasive.
Actually, I'll be honest, this tweet put a new perspective in my head, in all honesty.
Aww.
Well, I like saying that, like, oh, this is something that gave me an idea I hadn't thought about. Because I'd always thought, like, no, you don't talk to girls like that in a workplace. I mean, you don't say you're, you know, wow, you look really hot today, or just something like that. Without knowing them well enough where it would be okay between the two of you. And that's something that everybody knows. But hearing it from the perspective of another guy telling this guy, you know, you look really cute today too. Why would you say that? That's weird. I wonder how she feels, was one of those, oh, that's it. Wow. Like, I hadn't quite thought of it like that, where it just kind of, like, that was one of those click moments of, that's what we're supposed to be talking about here. Not that they're a girl, we should treat them correctly. It's about they are a person that we are working with the same as us. We should treat them correctly like we would like them to treat us.
With respect, too.
With respect.
Like, I think a problem that we face in our society at large is the objectification of women and seeing them as objects, like, as parts of themselves. There is, it's kind of like, for me personally, it's weird getting catcalled because, like, there's a sense of, like, oh, I was catcalled, so that means I'm pretty. But it's also, like, but I don't want to be catcalled. But it's, like, if they hadn't catcalled me, am I not attractive enough to be, like, assaulted? You know? It's really weird, and it's, like, it's a conversation that I've had with my friends, because, like, my one friend, Melissa, who's, like, conventionally attractive, gets catcalled a lot, and she's like, I really don't like it, it's unwanted attention, but, like, at the same time, I'm like, but I don't get catcalled as much as she does, and I'm like, what? I don't want to be catcalled. Like, I think it's really uncomfortable when someone catcalls me, and, like, I've had it in situations on, like, when I've been clubbing, where, like, a guy will follow me around a club.
Oh, fun.
And it's so creepy. It's so creepy, and it's why I hate going out to clubs without a guy there, because I don't have, like, the security of having someone be like, pretend to be my boyfriend so this guy will stop hitting on me because he's being really, really creepy. Like, yeah, it's just, there's a lot that has to do with, like, the whole catcalling thing that is just so uncomfortable, so weird, too. Like, societally, we're, like, supposed to be attractive and submissive and blah, 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 but, like, you don't want to be that way because that's not who you are, but you want to be that way because it makes you feel like you're beautiful, because that's what society trained us to think, but it still makes us uncomfortable. Yeah. So, like, to all the guys out there wondering if you should catcall a woman because you think they look hot, no.
Would you do it to your grandma?
Oh my god,
Would you
no.
do it to your
Oh,
mother?
Christ. Yike.
You know, why is this random person on the street, why are they eliciting this response from you? What is it going to get you? What is it going to get her? Or what is it going to get the people around you or the friends you're with?
Did I ever tell you about the time I was almost picked up in a Hy-Vee parking lot
What? No. What's this about?
Okay, so, God, a while back, like, I think it was, the summer of my freshman year of college, or something around that time. Like, it might have been, I was still a senior in high school. I met up with some old friends that I hadn't seen in a really long time, and we're all like, let's go and get ice cream, but all the ice cream places were closed, so we went to Hy-Vee, and we got, like, ice cream and gelato, and we were just sitting in one of my friend's cars talking and chatting and stuff. And then all of a sudden, this car pulls up to us, and they, like, roll down their window, and they, like, motion for us to roll down our window, and we're thinking, oh, do they need help, or, like, whatever, so we, like, very casually roll down our window halfway.
Do they need help? Oh, it's
I know.
so innocent.
I know. I was a baby then. So, like, we roll down our window halfway, and we're like, hey, are you okay? And they're like, hey, we're on our way to a party, do you want to come? And we're like, no, we're eating ice cream and talking, go away. These guys are like, oh, you guys are so hot, we need girls at this party, blah, blah, blah. And, like, it was so uncomfortable. I just remember in that moment, like, when they're like, blah, 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 you should come, we were, like, all wanting to leave right then immediately. And I just rolled up the window. I was like, good night. And then my friend's like, we can't do that, that's mean. And I was like, no, that's the thing, though. Women are trained to be, like, submissive and, like, to care about people and stuff. And it's like, if you don't do that, you might get freaking murdered. Like, Mick-freaking murdered. And it's so bad. Like, I hate that we've internalized this as women. It's so bad. But, like, yeah, so that's the one time that I got, like, attempted to get picked up at a Hy-Vee parking lot.
Like, I have an unfair advantage because I don't know if it's because I've grown up with such a strong mother or with you as a sister or anyone as a sister, where it's just, this is unfathomable, unthinkable things. It's not because I went through high school, it's not because I'm college educated, is it? Like, are there just people that just believe that sort of thing? Like, that's the way that things should work. Like, I don't, one of the things that I just have a hard time understanding with other people in general is why people do a certain thing. Honestly, I can't understand this about myself sometimes, but why people do a certain thing when it has no benefit to them or to the person they're interacting with. Like, there's no, like, when I do this certain thing, this is the payout, you know? Where it's kind of like, you remember the episode of South Park where it's like, we're gonna steal underwear and pantyhose. That step 1, steal underwear. Step 2, step 3, profit. That sort of thing. It's one of those sort of things where, like, that's how so many people seem to think, where it's just, we'll pick up these girls and bring them to a party, and then sex, I guess. You know, it's just,
there is a disconnect.
Is that literally all that goes through someone's head? Like, I know that it's not because I'm a guy, because I'm a guy, and I'm straight, and I like girls, and I will say people, like, what's the Tim Minchin song? Fuck, I love boobs though.
Honestly,
I just really love them. It's just, you don't act like that with people though. You know? Like,
well, it's comforting to know that you're not, like, a dick or whatever.
Like, they're another person.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if, like, people think this way, like, actually, but I get the feeling that because of, like, the way that society tends to view women in popular culture is that, like, a guy thinks that they can just hit on a girl without any pretext or, like, any, like, situational awareness, which is super uncomfortable. Like, if I'm going to a bar and I'm, like, branching off from my group, I want to be hit on. Like, I want people to hit on me. But, like, if you start hitting on me and I clearly am, like, not interested, I'm giving you one-word answers, I'm not facing you, I'm, like, closing myself off, I'm not interested.
Yep.
Like, I like flirting with people. I think flirting with people is fun. And I think, like, you know, it's nice to be able to have a conversation with a person and, like, to tease a little bit. And, like, you know, maybe I will sleep with you. It depends. Like, whatever. But, like, read the room, maybe.
Well, I will be honest, being rejected in any situation is hard, but it's something we have to all deal with at some point, whether it's with relationships or a job or an audition.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, God, have some self-respect, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough world out there, man. It's crazy.
It's a hard enough life.
Oh,
for
gosh.
us.
That's not where I wanted this to go at all.
Oh, my God. Well,
You can still hear me over the phone correctly, right?
Yes, I can.
Sweetness. What are you
Well,
recording on? Sorry.
I have this lovely device that I paid $100 for. It's called a Zoom Handy Recorder, and I love it so much.
Do I have that on my Amazon wish list?
Maybe.
I don't know if it's Zoom or not, but I have it's one of those handheld recorders sort of deals. I don't remember what it's actually called.
Is it like cylindrical, and then at the top it has like an oval shape with 2 microphones?
Ah, you have a Zoom H1, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on my wish list.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's so good.
Here's the thing.
I also got a lavalier mic with it, and that's been helpful as well for when I'm doing like small time shoots.
I wish I had a lavalier mic. I might have to borrow that.
They're really cheap. They're so cheap.
Oh yeah, I know. But
I got one for like $15.
But I want a really good one too that like sounds, I don't know. But yeah,
With Eric, the lavalier mic is not as important as the thing you're recording things on. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. Because most lavalier mics are made the same way, and they're going to vary in price from like $15 to $20. And if it's costing more than that, and it's like a regular plug-in one, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your Zoom H1, I have that on my wish list, but I have 4 digital recorders on my wish list, and they're all like, I'm comparing them as essentially, where one of them is, I do this a lot on my Amazon wish list, is like, I put a lot of the things that I see that I'm like, I like this, but this is similar, but this is a different brand and it's cheaper, but this is also pretty good, and I put them all down, and like, future me will figure it out. But
okay,
it's the 2 brands that I came across were like, this is what you get. There's the Zoom and the Tascam, and I do Tascam because in my short film that I did that I'm hoping to see in January, hint hint, wink wink, but it's the dude that we did digital recording with for that short film was a Tascam DR40, and it's freaking beautiful, and it's got XLR inputs in the thing, and it's really freaking nice. But really what it comes down to is I have all these options down here so that for whenever I have the money to put down on this, I can think about what my situation is, what I'm going to be recording with, how I'm going to record, and what I'm recording for, and then be able to pick the best one because, you know, they all have different inputs and different quality settings, and, you know, are you making a, you know, AAA or a super high quality short film, or are you just making a YouTube video that you need something to work with that's portable in this situation where I won't have to carry my Yeti microphone and my computer in order to get audio, as opposed to a lavalier mic or a boom mic and then one of these digital recorders.
Ooh, don't get a boom mic. You're not going to need that. Shotgun mic is going to be a lot more effective, especially if you're attaching it to a camera.
Yeah, I would love a shotgun mic, but I'd also love
so
a better
pretty.
camera. Shotgun mics are so cool.
What I'm planning on doing is when I get my new camera, I'm going to get a shotgun mic. I've been looking at this one that Casey Neistat actually recommended, and it's like fairly affordable. I also, have you ever heard of Film Riot?
Film Riot?
Yeah. They give a lot of like insider info for different technology, and they recommended this one shotgun mic for like short crews or like a one-man crew kind of situation. And I like the reviews that I've seen are like really good, and they're like it's great for like intimate projects, stuff like that. And I'm like, that would be really helpful for like any like vlog kind of things, or like any of my booktube videos, because I'm planning on making more of those over the break, since I've been reading a lot but not making any videos because my dorm room looks hideous.
Yeah.
Except I have a new map up, and you're going to see that, and it's going to be beautiful.
A new map?
Mm-hmm. But, Eric, I am going to cut you off because we have been in Sidebar Nation for so long today, and we are here to debate about stuff. Isn't that right?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Didn't you get the memo? I think I sent it out in an email like a week ago.
I must got lost in the fax machine.
Yeah, Yes. So topic
know.
number 1 for the day is a neti pot a good thing?
Heck to the freaking yes.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Fallacy.
wow.
That is a lie.
I'll tell you exactly what my reasoning is for. Wait, maybe I should start actually, because that'd make more sense.
Alright.
So, neti pots are something that a vocal major from... That was weird. What was that?
Me laughing, except it's like a sniffle laugh and I'm going...
Okay. I don't know. It sounded like you were dragging your phone along the wall or something. Anyways, I don't know what it was. But, okay, so neti pots are something that a vocal music major will just swear by to tell their students, this is amazing, and if you ever get sick and you need to perform or something like this, or just you need to feel better faster, that this will help. And it's prescribed. It's prescribed to people. Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's prescribed to people who get nasal surgery. So, like, for myself, I have a deviated septum. If I were to get surgery to fix that, I would be using a neti pot for months on the daily. I think twice a day for the first few weeks or month.
Except...
And it's required so that you can avoid infection, and that everything that's happening will be... Oh, I'm not done yet. You'll get there. But it's avoiding infection and keeping everything clear and your air passages open, especially as a vocal major. That's your voice isn't just your vocal cords, it's the space in your mouth and your nasal passages that creates all that sound that actually, sounds good, hopefully. So having a clear passage to sing through sounds better than, well, that was a good sound to make. I'm sorry.
Yankees.
But essentially, yes, they're incredible and they're a lifesaver when it comes to getting, if you get sick, not getting more sick, or that you'll get over your sickness faster, or the symptoms will go away faster, and you'll be able to breathe, essentially. Go for it.
Okay,
I know you've been waiting for this.
I'm like a rabid dog, and I see like raw steak. Okay, so here's the thing. I was doing a little bit of scientific research at the local journals and stuff like that I could find on Google Scholar and also JSTOR, which like is a lifesaver. But like, here's the thing, Eric. Neti pots are not great for you in most treatments. Like, yes, you need to use them after surgery, but you also are given a specific like amount of like, what is it? Like the saline, like, that's not the right word. Like, you have to use a specific cleaner to clean out your pot, and you have to like use it certain times a day, or like however many times is specified. But if you're just getting a neti pot, people tend to misuse it and end up like hurting their nasal passages and like getting them inflammation, which is not great for you at all. Also, people don't properly clean their pots. Like, I know Eric is super anal about everything, but like most people aren't. And if you're using a neti pot, you tend to inflame your passages, induce infection because you're not properly cleaning things, or not even using the correct like sort of fluid in the neti pot. So like, if you don't have any problems, or you're only having like slight problems, you really shouldn't be using a neti pot unless like doctor specified. Like, but the thing is like, they're not really, anybody can buy one, which is where the problem arises, because people don't use them properly. And like, yeah, it feels good the first couple of times. That's because it's in like mint condition. But if you don't clean it and you're not using the right fluids, like, it's gonna destroy your nasal passes by like putting in inflammation and then giving you infections and all of that jazz. So like, if you're Eric level anal, you're probably fine, because you do your research, blah blah blah. But like, if you're like most people, you're not doing your research, you're not getting the right fluid stuff, you're not cleaning your thing all the time. You're also probably not storing it in the proper place, so that like bacteria can form in it and cause more problems. So those are my multiple cents for you.
Valid. All valid points.
Oh my god, you used the word from my squad. Valid.
From your squad?
Yeah, so my friend Melissa says valid all of the time, and then I started using the word valid, and now it's passing on to you.
She's only, like, Snapchatted me 2 or 3 times. That's, like, the only way I know about her, like, know her, is just
oh my God.
random interactions on Snapchat.
Oh my god, I have so many stories to tell you about
honestly,
her.
I'm so excited to come back to Minneapolis. Like, oh my god,
She wants to meet you, and we're also probably going to play Cards Against Humanity with her.
Oh, I would happily play Cards Against of the Humanities.
It's such a fun game.
Except I have a lot of the cards memorized, so she has
she has the bigger blacker box. She also has all of the expansion packs.
Oh.
And she also has a bunch of made-up cards.
Oh, yes, please.
So some of the inside jokes you're not going to get, but, like, they're all pretty hilarious.
But I'll lay them down and you guys will laugh your minds off and just, it'll be
One
fun.
that I want you... Oh, no. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what the card is. I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to.
It'll be surprise. No, I need to find an expansion that's, like, just full of internet memes or something like that.
You know what's a really good expansion pack?
Qua.
The Blue Dot pack. That is such a good expansion pack. I love almost every single card in that pack.
I don't even know what the blue dot means.
We sell it at Barnes & Noble.
And you can buy it today. Okay, I'm sorry. But
okay.
I'm going to rebuttal your stuff so we don't go too far.
Okay.
But, okay, essentially, yes. The way I use a Neti Pot is safe and correct. Mm-hmm. And if you do use a Neti Pot like I do, as it would be prescribed, you will be okay. You will be safe, and it will be good for you. Unfortunately, you are also correct in that it is very easy to cause yourself to get an infection if you are improper in any way. So yeah, it's kind of like updating your BIOS on a laptop. In my case, I have wanted to update my BIOS. Okay, essentially, let me get to the start. A BIOS in your computer is the information inside your motherboard that actually starts your computer before your operating system like Mac or Windows 10 takes over. And if that is not functioning or doing anything incorrectly, your computer will not work whatsoever. It will brick, and you will not be able to save it. Unless
one whole brick.
You have a motherboard like we do nowadays in desktops where they have a BIOS flash button where you can flash your BIOS, which is essentially reset it, to the original stock settings. And if you ever made a mistake or like you updated a BIOS and there was a power outage so it couldn't complete the update, you could flash the BIOS and it will be back to normal and you won't have to worry about it. Everything will still be there and you can try re-updating it again at any time you like. My laptop does not have that comfortable I don't remember what the word is.
Words.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad. But it does not have that capability. So if I were to update my BIOS, sure, I might fix something that I might not even know. I know that whatever I would be able to, it doesn't matter. But
that was literally the most tangential way of describing this Neti Pot.
It's a good way. It's a good explanation, though. I swear. Essentially, I could update my BIOS, which I haven't because I'm scared. Because whenever I do, it's Murphy's Law. But if I did, sure, it'd be fine. It would work better. It'd be great. Maybe. I don't even think my BIOS update would really fix much of anything.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work, your computer is entirely screwed and you will not be able to access it again. The computer itself, you will not be able to make work ever again.
Yikes. So you'd have to do like a full like backup on your computer or like for all of your stuff if you ever wanted to try it.
I mean, I can take out the hard drive, but I can't take out a brain from a person who has an infected gangrene body, essentially.
Not yet.
Going back to that, not yet. We're going back to the Neti Pot statement.
Oh my god, I want to gush about CRISPR. Okay, anyway, you're saying?
Freaking beautiful CRISPR.
I love CRISPR-Cas9
essentially,
so much.
Do everything you are instructed to because this is your body and you want things to work properly and not get infected or not lose your sense of smell or get an infection that gets into your brain and causes
bad stuff.
there was an infection that I don't remember what it actually called. But
Encephalitis,
I had a teacher back in high school who got an infection that seeped into her brain, and it, like, when you get an infection in the lining of your brain, it expands, and your brain kind of like is compressed against the side of your skull.
Oh yeah.
And she does not see out of one of her eyes correctly anymore because of it. She survived, but it's one of those, if there is pressure...
And it was probably caused by, like, this nasal stuff?
It's not caused... No, it was caused by I don't remember how it was caused, but
okay.
I don't even know if you can get an infection through your nose like that.
Probably not as severe unless you're, like, in a compromised place, but you never really know with certain things.
But
anyway...
the point is... microwave the water at least to boiling. You want your water to boil so you kill off all types of fungi or bacteria or viral components inside of it. And you also want to use soft water. You do not want to use hard water. So, I don't know, get Fiji water, get something that isn't full of minerals, or if you have what I use is a Brita filter.
What if I crave that mineral?
Hey, man. I actually don't know if that really affects anything if you have mineral water or something like that. It might be fine.
Eric, that was a meme.
What?
That was a meme.
I missed it. What happened?
Craving that mineral. Did you not know about this meme?
I don't think I know this meme.
Oh my god, I was in the origins of this meme. Okay, anyway, I will explain this to you later.
Okay. But essentially, I use a Brita filter to take out the majority of the harder stuff in my tap water, especially out here in Burbank, because I don't know what they have.
Yikes.
But I get the impurities out that way. So I have a fairly clean water, but then I take the water and put it into a microwave, and I microwave it until it boils. And then I let it boil for a bit.
Hey, Eric?
Yeah.
This isn't a manual for how to Neti Pot.
But I'm explaining how I do it so people are safe.
Please stop.
Okay. But yeah, you microwave it. It's safe. There's nothing in it. You add your stuff that you need to, like salt. I think some people add a oil essence, something to it sometimes.
Oh, which reminds me, I have eucalyptus oil.
But then you are good as long as you don't use it too forcefully in your nose. And it feels like waterboarding yourself the first few times, but it's
Jesus
great
Christ.
afterwards. Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad. But it's great. But you have to use it correctly because it's essentially a medical procedure and would qualify as a surgery in a hospital setting.
Eucalyptus.
I think it would. Because if you put, like, a camera up someone's nose in order to see, like, the back of the throat, that's called... That's an
invasive
surgery.
Procedure.
That's a surgery.
I've
been
It's an invasive procedure, at least.
I think I was charged as it being a surgery when I went to an ear, nose, and throat place.
Yeah, but that could definitely be the insurance company.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Okay.
Either way, my mother and I were not happy about it.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
But yeah,
speaking
that's that.
Speaking of the medical establishment, let's talk about how they suck. Because I have feelings. I have many feelings.
Explain where you wanted to go with this, actually.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the opioid addiction
that thing.
Yeah, because, like, this is kind of something that's important to me. And it's not exactly, like, a debate topic, but I think it has a lot of, like, it's a morally charged situation, and I think it's one that would benefit from looking at it at multiple angles.
Okay.
So I think maybe more of this is like a discussion of like the morality of the medical institution as it currently stands and the way that it has compounded effects of the opioid addiction thing. I
can kind of see people looking at doctors like they looked at teachers in America, where it's sorry, my phone fell over again. Do everything to make me feel better and let me shout at you with gross anger at the same time, sort of a thing. Like, we are the bottom, we should be the top of society, teachers and medical professionals. But for whatever reason, hold on one second, sorry, loud noises. But for whatever reason, we have to submit, well, okay, how do I explain this? this is a tough one. Educators and medical professionals do things that people, for the most part, do not like, but are necessary for people to live happy, long, and healthy
Fulfilling.
lives. And, education's a part of that, and good health and hygiene is a part of that. Unfortunately, things go wrong. And if something goes wrong in the medical form of things, you have to go and get it fixed. Or you could have issues come up, or you could die. I mean, it's as simple as that. For whatever reason, though, we don't take our medical advice nearly as high as we should. We think that, oh, no, it's fine. It's one of those things where it's like you'll have an infection and you take antibacterial stuff for it, but then you stop taking it when you feel better. Oh my God. I think that's viable for a lawsuit, to be honest, because that's literally creating viruses, not viruses, but bacteria that can be extra strong and resistant to whatever you're infected with. Or no, they become resistant to whatever thing you're using to get rid of them because you stopped using it. And that then infects other people. It doesn't infect you anymore because you're already immune to it. But it can infect everyone else around you. You can literally kill people by doing it. It's the same thing with vaccinations, where it's just, if we don't have vaccinations of everyone,
I want to punch
because we can't.
anti-vaxxers.
We can't get vaccinations to everyone because there are some individuals that they're too sensitive to
they're immunocompromised is what it is.
It would hurt them more to give them a vaccination, or the chances of them becoming extremely sick or dying from the vaccination is far worse than just not doing it at all.
And the thing is as soon as they're healthy enough, they are going to get it.
Yeah, but we can protect them with group immunity. But for whatever reason, or herd immunity, I'm sorry. But for whatever reason, there are people that believe, well, no one's been infected by smallpox for 40-some years. What if it's all a conspiracy for the government to inject us with stuff that, that will track us, or that will infect, so our kids get autism? Oh my God. I'm
so mad about that.
I'm so mad that people don't know the history about that. Like, the dude who put out that article lost his medical license. He also was incredibly discredited. His entire report was thrown out. But for whatever reason, that single thing has stuck with people, so now people associate vaccinations with autism.
Well,
I want to slap people because it's something that I just wish could be illegal, that people could do that. Because it doesn't help anyone in any way. It's detrimental and kills people because we can't. If we have anyone that can get a vaccination not get it, who then gets infected, and that infection then infects people who can't get the vaccination, they killed that person. I can't. This is something that should be so easy and so simple, and it's one of the it's magic how we have vaccinations work today. I'm talking a lot, I'm realizing.
Yes, you are.
But
it's fine though. Like,
I'm sorry,
I think
but
it's a very it's a highly emotional topic, I think. And I think a lot of it comes from, well, okay, let me just start with this. This is one thing that personally bothers me about the whole anti-vaxxer movement is like, okay, so that article was blatantly wrong. The survey size was abysmal, and it was handpicked. It was, all of the data was so skewed, and like, if you ever read the paper, which I unfortunately had to, you will see how unscientific it is right away. It is horrible. It is so disgusting. And like, the problem that I find with it a lot of the times is that people who are like, oh my gosh, vaccine caused autism, blah blah blah, like, one, it's not true. But even if it is true, you would rather have an autistic child.
Yeah, that's not a death sentence.
Like, you'd rather not have an autistic child. You'd rather have a dead child. Like really?
I thought you were pro-life,
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
Damn.
The pro-life thing is just. Ugh.
Or like, I hate. Okay, I'll keep going. You talk for a bit.
It's very frustrating to like think about the medical establishment and the way that like it allows patients to dictate their health. Because, yeah, doctors make mistakes sometimes, but doctors have way more training than a person who did a 5-minute Google search does. And you're not going to become a professional, like, you're not going to understand all of the doctor stuff unless you've gone to college for, like, biology or chemistry, or, like, have taken courses like this, so that you can understand how multiple aspects of the body work and how drugs affect those aspects of the body. Like, there are so many different repercussions for doing things that your doctor says, like, not doing things that your doctor says to do, because you don't know the body chemistry, you don't know the way that hormones work, you don't know the way that cells work, you don't have the concept of it. And, like, it's very frustrating to meet a person who has never taken a biology class beyond high school try to tell me about how I'm wrong about vaccinations and, like, GMOs and all of that, because it's so wrong. Like, people who don't, I'm going to take a little bit of a sidetrack, but, like, people who are, like, against GMOs make me want to, like, shoot myself, because it's, like, they take pseudoscience and they throw it around, and then they put opinions on top of it, and are like, oh, GMOs are going to destroy us, blah, blah, blah. It's, like...
Which, in all fairness, they totally could. Like... Well, I'll get into that in a bit, but you keep going.
The thing about GMOs, like, we're talking about genetically modified food, like corn, rice, stuff like that.
The stuff we've been genetically modifying for thousands of years. People are like, what? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Oh, aren't you? It's the same freaking thing. Stop. Like,
and, like, I have a professor whose entire bed of research has been corn GMO stuff. So, like, she's been working on making a corn that is resistant to drought, is really strong, and produces high yields of corn. And, like, with the amount of people living in our modern society, we have to start thinking this way about getting plants that are more sustainable for our population size, because we have less area for growing farms and way more people than we can sustain. Without GMO crops, we would be screwed. Everyone would be starving, except for, of course, the 1%. Yeah, I know, and multiple populations are having this problem. And, like, in India, no, not India, maybe India. I feel like it's India, but I might be wrong. In one of the, like, more rural parts of Eastern Asia, there are farming communities that used to lose hundreds of dollars because their crops weren't sustainable in changing environments. And because we have a lot of global warming stuff, which is, like, I'm not even getting into that debate right now, but these people lost so many of crops. They couldn't feed their families, they couldn't feed the people around them, because they didn't have rice that could survive. And then scientists were like, here, GMO rice. And then they used it, and it was fine. And they had way more yields, and they could actually help and feed their families. Like, it's just a good investment. And there have been no signs of any bad, like, things coming because of this. In fact, the one thing that is great about GMOs is that they don't have pesticides, and they don't need pesticides because they produce stuff that makes bugs not want to eat them, which means that you don't have to put toxic chemicals over your plants, which is really bad for you.
I would rather have GMO plants than plants that are covered in pesticides and toxins designed to kill bugs. Like, you get one or the other, baby. Come on, you gotta choose.
Which is why I'm so mad that Trump was like, let's have this one pesticide back. I'm sure it's great. And it's
oh, wow. Why do you think we banned it in the first place? Why do you think we had net neutrality in the first place? They're all Why did we have tax plans the way in the first place where it's so massive? It's all preventative.
This is shit on Trump hour?
It's not shit on Trump hour. It's more like shit on the bad Republicans, because there are good Republicans. We need conservative mindsets so we don't go too far and, like, anti-vaxxers on the left. It's good to have conservative ideals and conservative thoughts. But not to the point where we're like, thanks, battery. Conservatives, it's becoming synonymous with being corrupt or being pro-business, pro-elite. It's no longer conservative being, no, I guess conservative has always been less government, more control to the people, which is true. but it's translating to less control from the government, more control to big businesses.
Which is
under
where the problem
under the
arises.
guise of there's competition, and if there's competition, you can choose what is the corporation that controls your life, essentially.
Well,
As
and
opposed
this
to
like directly affects the medical community because like with medicine, it's all about capitalism is all about getting money and getting a lot of turnover. And because we live in a capitalist society, hospitals have to run under this kind of perspective, which is where the whole like opioid addiction crisis thing has arisen from, is that medical professionals have been trained to manage pain and not manage a person's actual symptoms, because a lot of people can't afford to have an extended amount of time in a hospital because of capitalism. And like a lot of this goes back to capitalism, which is why I'm really salty about it. But like these people are given so many opioids for treatment after like a major surgery or whatever, because hospitals
they want to feel better.
Yeah, hospitals want you to feel better, and hospitals want you to tell the medical establishment that they are making you feel better. So the easiest way to do that is to give you pretty like readily available drugs to help treat you, but not tell you only to have so many, or only to do it if your pain is super severe or stuff like that. Like in reality, you shouldn't be taking any like opioids unless you're at like a pain level of 8 or 7. Which is, like, not something that a lot of people want to hear. Like, when I had my shoulder surgery, I only ended up taking 2 or 3 of my drugs that were opioids because, one, our mother is a nurse, and she was like, you're not getting addicted to this.
Yeah.
And 2, the rest of my pain was easily managed with ibuprofen, which is way safer, and, like, you don't have to be taking this really intensive drug to get rid of your pain all of the time, because you also do need to be feeling some of this pain. You know, it's part of the healing process of, like, knowing your limits and being able to move your arm a little bit, get some action in there, you know, whatever. So, like, when hospitals started noticing that people are, like, trying to get a lot of drugs from them because of their pain management tools, that's when people started being like, maybe we should, like, change the way that we scale our goodness level so it's not pain, but it's, like, how many times, like, people are coming back to us and all of that stuff. Like, it's a mess, and a lot of it has to do with, like, capitalism in general.
You know what that's the thing, is the whole medical practices does not equate to capitalism. The medicine is designed to save, protect, and that's basically it. Save and protect people, everyone, equally. If you have an issue, medicine will help you to live longer, healthier, and happier lives.
Or it should.
That has nothing to do with capitalism. In fact, if we only had one single medical body in the country that was not corrupt, essentially, it would be perfect. Like, there'd be capitalism is, in a form, a way of dealing with the inadequacies of the human experiment, in that people become greedy, people become corrupt, but if there's competition, they have to kind of hinder how corrupt or greedy they can be, because if they're too greedy or go too far, someone else will take over, someone else will gain the favor of the people. We're at the point now where our government is thinking, well, we can avoid that entirely if we just leave the people uneducated, or not realizing what is actually happening, or influence them through psychological warfare and social media, or something along those lines, where it's just, if we have total control, nothing will happen.
Which is not the case.
This is something I don't want to get into right now, but we've forgotten what the Second Amendment was invented for. That it's for protecting ourselves. It's not. And this is where you know exactly what the Second Amendment was invented for, and I'm not saying we're getting to that point, but if I were to say what it was invented for, it's exactly what you think it is. It's not about protecting ourselves as much as it is something else. But that's not the point. The point, we're all talking about the whole medical situation, and the point of that is, oh my god, I want to get into a 2-hour show, to be honest.
I mean, if it happens, it happens.
We could split it up if we wanted to. I've certainly got enough time. But okay, so with the medical institution, it's been about... this is what I was going to mention. Kind of moving a little bit off, but isn't it kind of funny how we have ibuprofen or Advil or acetaminophen? Is that no? That's not acetaminophen. That's something else entirely. Sodium naproxen, sodium. Dang, it's
You were
like I'm not
probably
a
right on the first
biochem
one.
person.
Yeah, I mean, basically it is lower level
It's
pain
what I leave.
medications is what
But
you're talking
essentially,
about.
that's the lower level stuff. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if marijuana wasn't illegal, which
Oh my
can also
God.
act as a pain reliever and does not cause addiction, but when we use something that's an opioid that does cause addiction, now we're mad that, oh my gosh, all these people are addicted to these really hard drugs. If only there was something else we could have done. You know, it's...
I think what's most frustrating
like,
about that entire
options.
situation is that, like, while on the state level, some places have approved the use of marijuana, the CDC still doesn't have access to it to do any testing. So there is actually no scientific basis to say that it's safe or not, and the CDC isn't allowed to test it.
And now the CDC is not allowed to say certain words because
Oh my
they're
God.
controversial. Oh wow! It's becoming so totalitarian right now.
There is so much censorship going on, but I guess we can have an episode dedicated to like deeper thinking on this level soon.
Yeah, we just reached the 1 hour mark, or at least when I started the timer, I think we're more like an hour and 1 minute right now.
Holy
but
crap.
we're very much at the point where we need to, if we're doing hour-long episodes, this would be our stopping point. So
Okay, I think
we'll
let's
have to
go a little
continue
bit
this.
longer than an hour. That way we can end on something light after this. I think maybe where I want to wrap up this like medical establishment conversation is maybe we should just do like one topic per episode.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Is like, we can't have too many big topics. I like
this.
I want to be able to keep the attitude happy and uplifting. We can complain about stuff. We can be mad about things because there are issues in the world. And if we complain about them or talk about them, make a discussion like this, we allow us to figure out ways to fix the problem and to make things better, which is really the whole point of everything, is making things better than they are right now. And I think we're accomplishing that. But of the last year, America, as an example, has started to take steps backward, or at least been looking behind us more.
Well, and it's not just
and it's
America.
a bit scary.
It's not just America. The UK has actually been having the same problems as well.
The UK is regretting their decision. Well, that's the thing, is I feel like the UK is in a position of, at the vote, everyone's like, yes, let's do this, let's get out, let's stop this whole rampant refugee thing. But as soon as they did it, everyone in the UK is like, oh wait, it passed? Wait, what did we do? I don't know if I want to go through with this. And the UN's like, oh wait.
Sucks to suck.
The UN's like, nope, this is what you agreed with. You're going through with it, whether you like it or not. Hope you can figure it out in a few years.
I
And
really
it's
wish
like,
the UN wouldn't have done that.
I get what they're trying to say, because let's be honest, they're a little pissed that this even happened.
Yeah.
But the UK, I wish that they just were like, we've made a mistake. Please, can we go back? We made a big mistake. Let's try to work this out. Let's try to make things better than they are. It's not going to happen because they're already doing stuff right now. I think they just failed to make an important bill pass, but I don't remember any details. But
well, and we're facing the same problem in the United States, is that like there is not enough transparency with the way that government is being is happening. And I think we really, in this age of modern society, we need to stop doing the representative voting because it clearly doesn't work.
There's
like,
a video
people
I want
have
to
self-interest, and it's very disappointing.
There's a video I want to recommend that I wish the entire world, especially political leaders, would see. And it's something that CGP Grey made a few years ago, I imagine. It's like government in the animal kingdom, I think. And it's a series. It's a series of videos that is brilliant. It's so good. And it's one of those, if I were to be a politician, I would take those videos into account if I were to, like, the voting systems in there. What we have right now in our current two-party voting system is not what the founding fathers wanted. They wanted to avoid parties entirely.
Yeah.
We ended up with parties because that's the government that we have. Those videos are how to make the best out of a democratic situation. Like,
well, the
very
interesting thing
best
is that,
with
like,
multiple parties.
the reason that the founding fathers decided to have a representative democracy, so that means that, like, we have the electoral colleges. The reason they did this is because they didn't trust the smaller populations to be fully read up on topics and to vote accordingly.
That the people in power, or the people who were representing the people, the people representing the people, would be intelligent and smart enough to keep crazy people from out of office, or keep businesses from taking over governments.
Which we saw in this last election, the reverse was actually true. Like, we found in this last election that the majority of people, while we didn't all like Hillary Clinton because she's kind of shady, the majority wanted her in office. But the electoral colleges ended up voting Trump in. How this happened was because of massive amounts of donations given to these people on private accounts. And this was done by the Trump party having enough funds to do so. The election was bought out by him. And, like, we can talk about the Russian scandal some other day, because I don't think it's necessarily important to this point.
There's a whole lot of situation happening with Mueller right now. Like, they found a bunch of emails that they got, and they're like, ooh, something's going to happen. Well, something's always going to happen, but, like, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
But the thing is that, like, the system that we created a while ago isn't working today. We have evolved past it, and we need to take this into consideration when moving forward.
That's the thing, is how hard is it going to be to change this? And I
Very
think
difficult.
What would be the best thing is if things go terrible and the Republicans really have messed up. So they start losing a ton of seats, and a ton of seats are being granted to the Democrats because everyone in the country is like, wow, this is way too far. All right, what's the other solution? Democrats, let's get them in. Let's get this, like, figured out. It would be up to the Democrats to not be corrupt, to not be power hungry, and to think this can't happen again. We have to change the system. We have to make this different.
I have no idea if that's possible, though, because
that's the thing.
The problem that
the Democrats
running into
is
there's no regulation of money in the government. Like, these people they get paid, but they're allowed to get companies to pay for them for other things, which in my opinion, should be illegal. I don't think any company like BP or whatever should be able to be filling the pocket of representatives, because that's not an unbiased, or even an attempt at unbiased sort of legislation.
Or at the very least, it can't be, like, under the table. Like, it has to be visibly, I would argue, visibly shown on all articles of vote for this person, sponsored by BP, Verizon, Comcast, what have you, that sort of thing. Because, what else are you going to do?
Well, if YouTubers have to say all of their advertisers up front, otherwise their watchers are going to be mad, why isn't it the same for politics? Like, I know it's like micro to macro level stuff, but, like, these are people who are representing us and our ideals. They should have the same sorts of responsibilities as any public leader or figurehead.
Yeah. It's a crazy world out there, but so much for ending on a happy note.
Well, we could do what My Favorite Murder does, and
what's he do?
So what they do at the end of a very sad / gruesome topic, because they talk about murder, is they say their happiest thing from that past week to kind of lighten the mood.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
hold on. That's what I was going to talk about. I forgot about this. So I have a super, super freaking happy thing that I want to talk about, but I'm not allowed to, at least on a media like this, for several months at the very least, I imagine. Okay. Essentially, one of my things acting on set was, oh my God, the person that I met, the people that I met, the scene that I was in, the thing that you will see on TV and be like, oh my God, it's him. It's... It was a good time. But that happened on Monday. But generally, someone that I met recently, her name is Haley Hayes, and she's become a really good friend of mine. just recently. Haley Hayes is... Oh, let me look this up really fast. I'm going to just... what's her name?
Do you want me to do my happy moment while you do this?
Yeah, I'll search up this just so I have all the info in front of me. Go ahead and do yours.
Okay, so I think so. I don't know if I've said as much, but I'm pretty sure anybody who's listening has implied this, is that I am a senior in college right now, and I'm just about to finish my last semester my last fall semester on Monday when I have my biochem final, which I do need to study for after this is done. But my happiest moment from this past week is actually what happened on Friday, which is I gave my biology presentation about this really cool drug called J147, and it's basically turmeric, if you guys know what that is.
Turmeric? Like the seasoning?
Yeah. It's so J147 is a more potent version of that, and it has been seen...
Turmeric.
Basically, it's been seen to help improve memory and cognition in mice who have Alzheimer's.
I heard about this, actually, I think.
And you probably heard it from me. But,
maybe.
So I had to do a presentation on this, and I ended up getting a lot of really good people. Like, everybody in the class was like, this is a great presentation. Like, I had so much fun, and, like, people laughed during it because I, like, did a bunch of jokes, and like, it was really good, and like, I got so many compliments from all of my professors, and like, I got a like pat on the back, like a physical pat on the back from this one professor that I like really look up to, and so that was really exciting. And then because our mom is in the medical field and she talks to a lot of pharmacists, she had some like insider information that I couldn't put in my slides because there aren't any actual like reports out. But one of my professors, her husband has Alzheimer's, and so this like presentation was super timely, and she like asked a bunch of really good questions, and it was great. And then in the end, I like went to my mom, and the professor was sitting near my mom, and we were talking about it, and she's like, why didn't you put in the information about the human trials going on? And I was like, there weren't any papers out, so I couldn't cite it, so I couldn't put it in. And then the professor turns around and she goes, wait, there are human ones? And so my mom and this professor had a long discussion about like, yeah, it's like going into human trials, and it might actually be like a really effective drug because it's super non-toxic and easily accessible. So yeah, no, I had a really good time with that, and it was just really like exciting to be like almost done with my school and to have this presentation go so well and to have it like positively impact like one of my professors.
That's so cool.
I know.
Super congrats on that.
Thanks. Okay, your happy moment.
Here's the thing, is like my happy moment is entertainment related, and like what makes people happy when they watch something or consume some sort of content, and your stuff is what makes people happy now that they can live longer, or they live happier lives because their loved ones are functioning like human body is supposed to, sort of a thing. Like that's cool. But okay, my happy thing. So I met a friend of mine a few weeks ago, maybe. I don't remember when it was, actually, but her name is Haley Hayes, and she's the voice of Samantha in Life is Strange. She is really cool, to say the least. She has this following that she's kind of built up over how long has it been since she did that voiceover, I suppose?
I think that happened in 2015 or something.
But this is one of the later episodes, I think. But because of this, she's kind of built up a bit of a following through Life is Strange, and like I can look at her social media, and she's got a YouTube channel that she uploads to. She has a Twitter account that she talks to her followers from, and she does videos on Twitch. She actually just got a PS4, and she's going to be streaming. I think she has been streaming the Life is Strange episodes, or from her PS4, and she's going to start doing some horror or something. And she's just this cool person that I met who's doing this creative stuff, because it's the same thing where I also met a guy named Christopher Gilstrap who does the voiceover work for some of Jellopocalypse videos. And he makes his own YouTube content called Hark Vlogs. Hark! It's so cool seeing these creative minds doing this sort of thing. And they're not anything like huge or big, and they don't have an enormous following, but they're just good people who are good creative people making good content that's just fun and just fun to watch, and it's fun to see what they're up to. And I'm like, that's what I wanted to see, I think, for as long as I was in Sioux Falls, is like when I was doing my YouTube videos a few years ago, was seeing someone else do something, to be like, yeah, I'm doing my stuff, what are you doing? And look at this video that this person put up that I know. And I have that now. Mm-hmm. And it's actually inspired me a little bit to make a video when I come back, because I have a new idea that's, I'm going to video some of it today when a friend of mine gets off of out of her class. We're going to film a little bit of it here, and then it's going to transition to South Dakota, and it's going to be brilliant. I'm so excited.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's what I've, meeting Haley Hayes and Christopher Gilstrap and making friends with them, essentially.
Aww, I love it.
Yeah, I met a lot of friends out here. Jeez, it's just been, what a good year. Oh, man.
Things have been bad, but things have been good, too, and it's always good to keep that, like, look of hope out, I guess.
I think that's the thing is, even though I'm in acting, even though it's really hard, even though money can be kind of month to month, I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I'm stagnating. Like, I'm still moving forward. Come January, after the holidays, like, I have an agent, a few agents maybe, on the line that I can try to get worked out with.
Yeah.
I have more things, more casting solutions that I can set up with. I can just
Things
be
are looking up.
An actor and not worry about money come January anyways. Holidays are crazy for actors when it comes to, how much money you have. So, but after how crazy it was the last few weeks getting money, I'm like ready to go, ready to do the holidays. It's been good, though.
You should see if you can get on Shadowhunters. That way you can, like, put my name
I
in
could
there
get on
for,
Shadowhunters.
scripting.
Or the new Night Vale thing. Is Night Vale becoming a thing?
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we need to, I need to get a hold of them somehow or something. Maybe Haley has a connection to some of her producers that have a connection to Night Vale that we can make something work out.
Look for people on the East Coast.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, I think we should wrap this up because we're way over time.
We've way over time. It's been great.
I have a feeling that's going to happen very consistently.
If we want, we can. No, yeah. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, let's end it there. And I don't think I have outro music, but if I do, we'll see. I might just put in the same music, but I shouldn't talk about editing things in the podcast itself. Too late now, but. Hey.
Thank you for joining us today, or we'll hopefully be back next week since things are going to calm down a little bit for both of us.
Yeah, no
kidding. We might even be in the same room, in the same time zone.
Oh my God! Oh.
It's amazing.
Okay, that's good enough.
Well, until then, we will see you next time.
All right, thank you for watching, or listening, I suppose.
Yes.
I'm FreediiFree.
Look and listen. This is Randina.
And we will just see you next week. I'm going to assume it's going to be next week, so
hopefully
see you next week.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.